This ain't radio. You won't find it on the dial tone. This ain't radio. This ain't radio. To know what I'm on. This ain't radio. This ain't radio. You know I'm finna talk my shit. This ain't radio. Go ahead, give it a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of This Ain't Radio podcast. I don't want to call it a podcast no more. I want to just call it a show. I just want to call it a show. Welcome to another episode of This Ain't Radio with your host, Chris. Just Chris. And before we get started, I want to give a happy birthday shout out to my brother David, the sandwich himself. All right. The freshest bald guy I know. The youngest bald guy I know. All right. Shout out to that guy. All right. That's my boy. Man, we go back. I've told this story before, but I met David 2010 when I started working at a movie theater at Pacific Theaters in El Segundo. And he was already working there. And we had a mutual friend. Shout out to the homegirl, April. And then one day he comes up to me. And I'm new, so I'm not really talking to nobody. I'm kind of like, still shy, not open, talking and all that. None of that. All right. So then he comes up to me. He's like, hey, you know April? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And that's it. And then there's like a weird pause. And he's like, okay. And then after we became cool, like months later, right? Once I'm comfortable and I'm just talking to everybody and we're all cool. Once we become cool, he was like, hey, just based off our first interaction, he was like, I fucking hated you. I was like, why? He was like, because when I asked you if you knew April, all you said was, yeah. And I was like, my bad, bro. I'm not a talker like that. I don't be talking. But yeah, man, happy birthday to my bruh, David. I'll see you on Friday, my boy. I'll see you on Friday. But let's continue. It's that time again. It's that time of year again. You already know what it's Valentine's week. It's Valentine's week. We are here again, and you know how I feel about Valentine's if y'all been watching. I've done a Valentine's episode every fucking year, and every fucking year I remind y'all how much I fucking hate it. I hate Valentine's because it's not even a real holiday. It's some made up shit. So the fellas could spend money and act like they have to prove to their girl that they love them even more on a random ass 14th of February. Why do I have to prove that I love you more today? Huh? Why do I have to prove that? I was actually talking to one of my coworkers like last week about it. And she was like, I don't really care for Valentine's Day that much either no more. I'm like, me neither. And I'm like, as a guy though, I fucking hate it because for some reason, the guys have to prove to the girls that they care and the women just get to take all, they get to receive everything. But the guys don't get to receive shit. We get to give everything, but we don't get to receive nothing. That's my biggest gripe because it's not love is 50-50. Love has never been the guy has to love the girl. The woman just gets to be there. All right. And then it's not even a real holiday. So it's just a waste of fucking money. It's a waste of fucking money. But like I always say, even though I fucking hate it, I always participate. But I don't fucking like it. But I participate. Why? Because I love my girl. So I participate because she likes this shit. One day she gonna be like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. But actually, so usually I hate it because it's like, fuck, that's money out of my pocket for some shit I don't give a fuck about. Right? I have to spend money on a holiday that I don't give a fuck about. it. But this year, my girl surprised me. Usually she wants to go to like gauchos. And gauchos is like, it's not expensive. But you for sure spending over $100, right? And it's like, But this year, my girl was like, hey, for Valentine's Day, let's just go to Prince Street Pizza and then hit that bar we like. I'm like, yeah? She's like, yeah. And I was like, we can do that. Easy. That's easy. And look, I wouldn't have a problem with Valentine's Day if those were the type of plans that had to be made. If that was the normal shit, right? Because they want the extra, they want the love, they want the extra. They want you to be extra'd out. I feel sorry for these young kids because these young kids have to ask their girlfriend again. These young fellas, broke young fellas who have no fucking money, have to go and buy shit for their already girlfriend and ask them to be their Valentines. What kind of bullshit is that? First of all, if I have a son and you have a girlfriend, I'll kick you down something so y'all could do something on Valentine's Day, but I'm not kicking you down shit, son. To ask your already girlfriend to surprise her with something just so you could ask her to be your Valentine. No, she's your Valentine's already. She's the one that's gonna want. You ain't gonna want to do nothing. She gonna want to do something. So you don't have to ask her to be your Valentine's to do some shit that she want to do, not some shit you don't want to do. You feel me? You feel me, son? To my future son, if I have a future son. All right. But yeah, see, look, something simple. We could hit a bar and get some pizza slices. I'm down for that every Valentine's Day. I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm cool with that. I wouldn't have a problem with Valentine's Day if it was that, right? But sometimes they want to do something more expensive, right? But guess whose money that is, fellas? You know, it's our money. It's our money. It's our money we gotta spend for some shit we don't care about. So I don't know. But fuck Valentine's Day. But this year, my girl came through and we're keeping it simple. That's how it should be. Valentine's Day ain't a real holiday. It's some bullshit made up to spend more money when inflation is already crazy. Inflation's already crazy. Everything's expensive already. And now I gotta go do some shit on a fake holiday that don't mean shit. It don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. I fucking hate Valentine's Day. Okay? I'm not gonna prove to you I love you more on just this day. Or I love you every day. I love you every day. I don't have to prove to you that I love you more today. Unless you write me a 30-page paper on the history of Valentines. Then I'll prove to you that I love you more on Valentine's Day. And then back to regular loving schedule the rest of the year. If I don't get a 30-page paper, I like this Valentine's year. Pizza and a nice bar and good hangout time and all that stuff. I like a good hangout. Simple. It's going to be a good time. We both like both of the spots. We both like where we're going. We both like, see, now it seems like I'm not attacking my girl. I'm not attacking my girl. I'm just attacking the holiday in general and what it brings out of me. It brings out this monster of hate. Not towards my girl, just towards the holiday. I'm not a hateful person, but I hate fucking Valentine's Day because it's bullshit. All right, you can't even get flowers from the homies working the freeway exits for regular price. I'm just jacked up. Got a cough drop in my mouth. I've been dealing with some congestion and a sore throat, but that's cool. I was going through it this weekend, but I'm working past it. You know what? I haven't had coffee in 5 days. That's a streak for me. That's the longest it's been without having coffee in years. I couldn't tell you how long. 5 fucking days. I think the most I've done before this is like 3 days. 5 days no coffee. 5 days no coffee, and I miss it. But my addiction, I'm stronger than my addiction. All right, I am. But yeah, Valentine's Day. Going out with my girl, getting pizza. We're going to a bar and we're going to go dance. We got rhythm. We got rhythm. Boom, chicka, boom, boom, chicka, rhythm. Got rhythm. Got rhythm. Got rhythm.
Whatever, I do what I want.
That's right. I need some new sounds. I'm gonna get new sounds soon. But look, that's my take on Valentine's. Look, I do it every year. Y'all know me. Y'all know how I get down. Y'all know how I feel about Valentine's. I feel a lot about Valentine's because it brings out the negative in me. I'm trying to be a positive person for the 26th. But already, man. But yeah. So, I think I told y'all last week about my family group chat, right? And it's just a bunch of texts, and most of it, no interest in. Most of it, I have no interest in, right? So it's a bunch of just skim through, see if anything pops up, anything important. The other day, my sister sends me a photo of my grandpa's Coast Guard ID, right? Where I get my last name from, where I get the Vasquez name from, right? My grandpa. All right. Born in Puerto Rico. All right. Lived in Brooklyn, New York. 64 Jerry Street, Brooklyn, New York. All right. All right. Boricua, baby. Shout out Bad Bonnie. Shout out Bad Bonnie. All right. Yeah, so my sister sends it to me. I'm looking at it. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Something's off here. Something's off. Either I'm wrong or he's wrong. Or how could he be wrong? Right? My whole life. Vasquez. 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 All right? My whole life. Vasquez. 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 I'm looking at his card. Vazquez. Vasquez. Vasquez. Somewhere down the family tree, the Vasquez family tree, somewhere, I don't know if it was intentional or a mistake, but it went from Vazquez to Vasquez. You know how many people I told that they were spelling my name wrong when they put Vaz? But in actuality, somewhere down the line of the family tree, someone spelled my name wrong and added the S. So this whole time, my last name is really spelled the other way. Vazquez. And somewhere down the line, on somewhere, I don't know who and why it was never caught until apparently 2002 when one of my aunts found out, and then she ended up switching her the spelling back to Vaz. But in 2002, I wasn't really in connection with my dad's side of the family because he was in prison, and we just lost connection. But now we're like this now. We have a fucking family group chat with like 24 people in there, and I assume they're just all cousins. They could be something else, but I'm just gonna assume everyone in that group chat is a cousin. Cause I don't know and I'm not gonna act, but I love them all. But my whole life has been a lie. My whole life, I'm like, no, it's VAS. That's Puerto Rican. Whole time it's VAZ, Puerto Rican. Hey. But look, all right, look, it don't even bother me, right? It's just like a shock. It's a shock because who the fuck would have thought, right? Not me, not me. But look, it was dope just actually seeing my grandpa's Coast Guard ID because I remember him vaguely when I was little, right? He passed away when I was young. I was young. I was under 8 years old. Or I wasn't even 8 years old. So I remember him vaguely. I don't remember conversation. I just kind of remember him being like a dark and that's it. And but just seeing it like, damn, yo. So okay. Legit. I'm legit Puerto Rican. Legit. This is legit. You can't tell me shit. Legit. I might get that shit tatted right here and back with the Mexican flag right here on this arm. All right, but I'm legit Puerto Rican, Boricua baby. All right, shout out Bad Bunny, or like Elmo says, Good Bunny. But yeah, man, it was just dope seeing it. And then like, okay, yeah, cause I knew he was Puerto Rican. I knew he lived in New York, but just like verifying it, like bam, bam, that shit was clean. But I'm also very curious on where it went wrong. Was it on someone's like it had to have been one of the older aunts or uncles birth certificate where either the nurse who filled it out spelled it wrong and then they just didn't notice and it just stuck like that. But I don't know what that's interesting. I want to know where it went wrong. Where did it go from VAZ to VAS? Cause now my whole life is a lie and I don't know how I'm gonna move on. I don't know. Shout out Bad Bunny. I don't know. That's just interesting to me. But it is what it is, dog. And I don't know. I'm trying to think. Oh, and I looked up the address that was on that thing, and it's a construction zone right now. They knocked down whatever was there, and they're rebuilding some shit. So that's interesting to me, dog. That's interesting. But you know what? I think that's all I got today. It's a quickie, but it's a goodie. All right, quickies could be good. All right, quickies could be good. That's all I gotta say. But look, this ain't radio. Episode 283 with your host Chris, just Chris. And until next week, peace.